Hi, I'm Carter.
Hi, I'm Zoe and this is the Stagey podcast.
Be sure to check us out on all of our social medias, which will be linked in the description of this episode.
So sit back, relax and enjoy this week's episode.
So hi everyone, welcome to another podcast episode. Today we are joined here with Matthew Seaman and Grace Myers. So tell us a little bit about yourselves.
I'm Matthew, I'm 19 for the next week anyway, and I am an English student from North London. I love theatre, obviously we all do, everyone listening I assume loves theatre, but Grace and I run jamie.musical, which is the Instagram fan account for Everybody's Talking About Jamie, so that's our area of expertise, that's what we love.
Hi, I'm Grace, I'm 18, I live just outside of Brighton. I'm a theatre student taking theatre production, specialising in theatre design, and yeah, I also co-own jamie.musical.
So on the subject of the jamie.musical account, what actually inspired you to start it?
I think it's the same as how any fan account works. It's just another way of expressing your love for the show, and there's different ways people do that, and it doesn't make them bigger or smaller fans. Some people like going to stage door like we do and talking to the actors. Some people like to post their stage door pictures, and we just thought for us the next possible way that we could express our love for Jamie was by having an account that was totally dedicated to it, and it just happened it got quite a few followers, which just wasn't something we were expecting.
Because we started quite early on when Jamie had just come into London, it was a great way for us to reach out to newer fans and kind of create a sort of kind of like a family at the beginning. It was, we were all really close, we all knew each other, so the account had that benefit as well, that we made new friends.
So how did you both meet?
It was through the show, we're so used to it now with theatre, with meeting new people through going to the theatre through the account, but back when that was, for me anyway, it was something that I wasn't used to at all. I'd never met anyone online before, let alone through theatre. So I think it was Twitter or something, or maybe Instagram, both I think, but yeah, we just got talking through that and then joined the account together and went from there. We didn't really put much thought into that, we just sort of did it.
Yeah, at the time I had a Jamie Twitter account, and Matt had what is now jamie.musical, but used to be a fan account for two different shows. I think it was for Jamie and Kinky Boots, and I just kind of reached out to Matthew, and then from there we just kind of agreed to create this account, and that was it. And then the first time we ever met was at West End Live in the June or July, I can't remember.
Which was 2018.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's been a while then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so what does Jamie actually mean to you both? Why does it mean so much to you?
Yes.
Jamie, for a long time, Jamie was about, it was the excitement of it. It was something new, a piece of theatre that I'd never seen before, and my experience with Jamie was very different because of the account, because quite quickly people were kind of knowing my name or recognising me within the Jamie community. So obviously it gave me that aspect that I made so many new friends and so many contacts within the show and stuff. But also Jamie is such an incredible message, and it has such amazing morals for people that, just to be yourself, and what you are is enough, and don't let anyone else kind of put you down for that. And obviously that was kind of quite early on, and then now it's kind of like a home ground. It's what I know, I feel comfortable, I know I can turn to the Jamie account or the Jamie community if I ever need anything or want to talk to anyone, because we're all there to support each other and help out each other. So now it kind of has a different meaning to me it did when I first became part of the fandom, but still very good reason.
Jamie doesn't mean anything to me. Like, I just don't really like it very much. For anyone that's listening, I'm holding up a pillow that has John McCree on it. Cushion, sorry. I mean, I want to say that there's some deep reason why I feel a connection to Jamie, but it really is just, I just love it. Like, I just love the feeling of sitting in the theatre watching it, and that was why I went back, because I wanted to experience that feeling again, and it's a feeling that I hadn't got from many other shows, and you know, that came from the music, the performances, originally of the original cast, and yeah, there's an atmosphere in the theatre that I think is something we try to replicate on our account and in our events, and that's something that is like an understanding between all of the community, and it's something that keeps us together. And in having this community, it draws us all back to the show lots of times, because if it was just a show where the audience was anonymous and you didn't know anyone, I think we'd probably go back less. But it's an environment that we're comfortable in, and with people we're comfortable around, and I think that's part of the drawback for us. And it's just as much about the audience for us now than it is about the show as well. It's a two-sided thing.
Yeah, such an important part of the whole experience that we've had.
Yeah. Have you booked any tickets for Jamie, like, reopening in, is it November? I think it is.
Yeah. We both booked tickets for what's meant to be the opening night again, the 12th of November, but obviously with lockdown and everything, we're just hoping that it does open. But if it doesn't and it has to be postponed, then obviously we would understand, because not only is it our safety, but the safety of the cast and the crew and the creators and everyone involved. So in terms of tickets, I mean, I'm speaking on my behalf, I booked the 12th of November. I did have tour booked in Brighton as well, but obviously that was cancelled.
Let's just hope it does open on that day. I'm also booked for then, and I think a lot of people are. jamie.musical put a quite ambiguous post on Instagram saying more news to follow about 3 weeks ago. So we're still, like, I'm assuming it's just about it opening. But as far as I know, NIMAX have had staff in the theatre, as in within the last few days. The stage door was open yesterday when I walked past. So they're trying. So let's just, fingers crossed.
Yeah. If you could play any character, if you could play any character in Jamie, who would it be and why?
I would. I'd love to play Jamie like once, just to experience it, just to sort of go on. I don't really want to do it in front of people, but I just want to be able to step into Jamie's costume and just be him for one track of the show and just experience what that's like. But the whole orchestra would have to transpose the keys down by about 3 semitones, so it just wouldn't really work.
If it was like a gender bent version, I'll have to follow on that and say I'd love to play Jamie. I just think it would be so fun. You know, throughout the show he shows such a range of emotions, so I think that would be fun. But if not, and if typecasting wasn't kind of important, then Ray. I think Ray's such a great character. She's got some absolute corkers in the show, and she's just a great character. And I think what she brings to the show, she brings a lot to the show in terms of her support for Jamie and Margaret. And she's just a funny character. And she's got a great song as well.
Yeah, I absolutely love Ray. Yeah, so who is your most seen Jamie?
I saw John and Leighton an equal amount. Like both, I think it was both 26 times. I think. No, then I saw the tour, and that was like, that tipped it one over. So I've actually seen Leighton more than John. Yeah.
I actually don't know. I think it's John. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's John. But my numbers are weird. I saw a split show where the first act was John and the second act was Luke. So I don't know if you count that. But yeah, I think John. I'm going to say John.
So when did you know that Everybody's Talking About Jamie was your favourite show?
I actually don't know, because at the time of seeing it for the first few times, it was Kinky Boots was my favourite show. And I, even in months into running the fan account, if I was asked what's my favourite show, I think I would never be able to choose between Kinky Boots and Jamie. I think it's the point that the original cast left and I still kept going back and still loved it was when I realised it was like a long-term thing. Yeah, but I'm not sure. I don't know if that was a specific moment.
Kind of a similar sort of answer. People that know me well, even to this day, will know that I would always say that Billy Elliot is my favourite musical. Always had been.
Finally! Billy Elliot's mine as well.
I love Billy Elliot. I think it's just such an incredible show, and obviously it has quite a few links to Jamie.
Yeah.
Jamie is, on par, but still slightly behind Billy Elliot. But I don't think there was a significant moment when I went, this is it, this is my favourite. I think, like Matthew said, when I just kept going back because I purely enjoyed it, and it was such a big part of my life, and it just made me happy. I think it comes down to that, as simple as that, going there. And it's not even the show itself that made me happy, it was the journey up there and getting excited, and then when, you hear the first dun dun dun, and you get all excited, and then the interval, and that after the interval is the second act, and then you get to the stage door, and then running to the stage door, or like little things like that the fans that have seen the show will understand. I think that's when I went, this is something new. I didn't have that with any other show, and I've seen a lot of shows. So yeah, I think that was quite a pivotal moment when I just kept going.
Yeah, so how many times have you both actually seen the show?
Is that in person or like in the cinema as well, on tour?
Including the cinema and tour, just in total?
Oh god. Well, so in the West End I've seen it 18 times, I think. And then I went to the cinema I think 3 times. But also I have watched it elsewhere as well, the cinema screening.
Okay.
I don't know how many times I've seen that, because that's, since it's been floating around, it just comes on and off YouTube, and you can't not watch it sometimes. But I've seen, if we're doing halves, because I left in the interval once, which sounds really bad, and it was a choice as well, but it was a free ticket and I had uni work to do. So technically 59 and a half times, but I tend to round it up.
So what is your favourite Jamie stage door experience?
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, there are so many to choose from. I think I have 2. One with John, one with Noah, and I'm gonna make it 3, but my third is every interaction I have with Leighton, because it's always positive, he's always lovely, he's always friendly, he makes time for everyone, when he can, obviously. So I'm going to count that as a whole. My one with John was when I realised he knew who I was. I went to stage door with one of my best friends, and there's actually a video, and I'm screaming and going, oh my god, you know who I am, and we're just having this chat, and he was like, yeah, of course I know who you are. I think that was such a big moment, and one of my favourites, because at the time, and I still do, obviously, I absolutely idolised John. Times are different now, I haven't seen him in a while, spoke to him not too long ago, which was great. But yeah, that's it. It's like when anybody would meet someone, that they would get starstruck by, or a celebrity or anything, because to a lot of this community, these performers are versions of celebrities. So that's with John, and then the one with Noah, it was only brief. It was on his very first show. I was with a friend of mine who knows Noah, and he came out and said hi to the friend because they knew each other. And then he turned to me and he just went, I know you, you're Grace from jamie.musical. And I didn't even introduce myself or anything like that. And I thought, yeah, I like you.
For me, I think I've also got 3. I mean, John was great, and every time was, the thing with John is that every time was different, and that was why you didn't know, maybe he would come out in just a funny mood and he would spend like 10 seconds with you, or he was interesting, and that was nice. And it would always, when John was there was the only time I would like be like nervous at stage door, because it was like I felt like I don't know, like I had to impress, or I had to not upset him, I don't know, but he's great. But also Roy, Bianca Del Rio, was just so much fun. And so like it's just, Roy and Michelle were both so good with giving people their time, especially Michelle, actually just spending ages with everyone, and just, cause they don't have to, and that's that was nice. And just one example was really funny for me was the day I bleached my hair blonde for the first time, and stage door that day was quite fun, just everyone being like, what?
Yeah, so as we know, you have actually set up quite a few fan events for Jamie. So what's your experience like when you set these fan events up? Like, what's the atmosphere like?
It's the best thing. I think progressively they've got better, not so much just because they're bigger events, but the more we do it, the more we get used to it, the less nervous we are, the smoother they run, and then we just get to have fun. And everyone seems to enjoy everyone, and people meet friends through it and get lots out of it. But I think the last one for me was the first time I felt like I got lots out of it as well, because just not being as nervous, I got to talk to more people and just enjoy the atmosphere more. And it was just, it's a really special thing. And I overheard a conversation of two like mums that were at the event, and one of them said they'd been at the first fan night, which only had about 40 people at it, and they were saying how the atmosphere in that room was, you just can't describe like what it was like, with John turning up and everyone, and like that was such a special day. I think you, like, if you can come to our events and you're a Jamie fan, it's really worth it, because they are special.
Yeah, I think on behalf of Matthew when we say there is nothing more lovely than organising and setting up a fan event. It's the amount of joy that it brings us. I've said it before, a lot of time we think about every scenario, everything stuff that goes on, like you guys don't know, the emails, the contacts, the deposits, the financial stuff.
Stuff that does go wrong sometimes. We had a message from Leighton the morning of our latest event saying, I'm ill, I can't come. Like, a whole apology, it was lovely, but it was like, oh no.
It's not disappointing, because obviously we understand that, you know, it's a shame, because I know a lot of people would have loved to have seen him, but the thought that, the fact that you thought about us and the time message us really meant a lot. But we set high standards for ourselves unintentionally in the first event, because we had Jamie Campbell confirmed, had spoken to John, obviously not many people know, he had spoken to him and said that we could have him at this day, this time, this place, and he was like, maybe.
Probably can't come, but if I can, I'll just turn up.
No, playing it cool like he does. And then Matthew and I, we're nervous as hell, you know, we're panicking. And this is a theatre cafe, so it's small as well. It was full capacity. Everyone was sweating, you had people outside, it was mayhem. And then before you know it, we had Leighton, Jordan, John, and then we had Dan, and it was just mad. So that is something I will never ever forget. And I remember, and there's a video of it actually, of Matthew and I just doing that. Oh my god, this is our event. But then also going on to the most recent event was incredible. It was lovely. I would say that would be the reason it was one of our most successful, not even in terms of the guests that turned up, but I think because we were more relaxed, the vibe was more relaxed, the venue managers, they knew us as well.
They're so good, we really love the Phoenix Arts Club.
Shout out to the Phoenix Arts Club, they showed nothing but support us, it's so helpful. Because at the end of the day, you know, we're teenagers-ish, who are trying to essentially have a very small business doing these events, and they've been so great. And I'm rambling, but yeah, it's great, we love it.
Yeah, so would you want to set any more up in like the future when all this is blown over?
Definitely. I mean, we spoke about this earlier actually, saying that we would absolutely love to, but we have to prioritise people's safety, and right now it's just not the right time. If we could, we absolutely would, but considering you can't have more than 6 people around you, or 5 people around you at a time, it would just be, it's just not an option right now, unfortunately, as much as we hate to say it. But as soon as we can, as soon as we know it's going to be safe and enjoyable, you know, it's not necessarily going to be enjoyable if we all have to wear masks and socially distance and you can't take a picture or hug if we get any cast members, stuff like that. But I don't doubt for a second that Matthew and I will come up with something as an alternative.
I think that's part of the reason.
What of like doing a virtual fan event?
We thought about that during the lockdown, but I think unintentionally the reason we didn't do it, and the reason we're not doing something right now, is because we like to impress with our events, and I think it would be better if we wait to do something that can actually work to its full potential than doing something that might just not be up to the standard we like could have it at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, we don't want to set false promises by this, but for a while now, since kind of the announcement of the release of the movie, Matthew and I instantly went, we need to do something for the movie. We have ideas floating about, obviously nothing's finalised, but by the time of the movie release, if it does still come out in January, we would love to be able to organise something to do with that, definitely.
Can't wait for the movie. I'm really excited for the movie.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Fingers crossed, open in January.
I know, yeah,
Yeah, so what are your opinions on the film?
Do we go?
Yeah, I think we should. I think you know someone in it, don't you?
I'm quite biased because I've got a couple of friends that are in it. So obviously, I mean, I'm more than excited anyway. I just think it's incredible. I'm very fortunate that I've become quite friendly with Max Harwood, who's obviously playing Jamie New, and I just think it's got so much potential, and I really hope it does as well as it deserves, and gets all the awards and all the acknowledgement and all the achievements, because not only for the sake of the acting and the cast and the production, but also because it needs to be shared, you know, and that's what Jamie stands by. It's a story that needs to be shared, that people will enjoy hearing. So I am incredibly excited.
I remember when they announced it, which actually seems really weird, but it was only about a few months after we started the account they announced the film. It was that summer. Yeah, it was literally summer of 2018, so it's been a thing that we've known about for ages. But I remember we had a conversation being like, should we just like not mention like the movie? Should we just keep our account for the show and just like not have the movie as to do with it? Should we have a separate account? Should we? And it was like I think we were both a little bit concerned that maybe it would end up being something that doesn't stay true to the show at all, and it's just something that's like a big American film. But as we've seen, you know, Warp is a small-ish film company that have made it, and obviously they made it in Sheffield, and some of the cast have been in the tour, some of the cast in the West End, and it's like, obviously we haven't seen the film, but it feels like it's going to be something that's close to the story we love and close to the message we love. And yeah, so I'm really excited for it, for that reason mainly.
And also, we were lucky enough to go to Sheffield and take part in the street party scene.
I want to do the video of being interviewed for the.
Did they?
Do you not remember when they asked us questions?
I meant someone to. Anyway.
No, I want to watch it. I mean, like, knowing our luck, it probably just won't turn up anywhere. Okay. But yeah, that was fun.
But yeah, so what we're talking about is when we were at the street party, we got in touch with I think she's the co-producer, or so I don't quite know her official title, but someone got in touch with us and was basically like, we'd love to interview you two, along with Meg, who runs ETAD Fans on Twitter, which was the first ever fan account for Jamie, so all credit to her. She's incredible and very lovely, and yeah, we got interviewed, which was great, but who knows what's going to happen with that footage.
Yeah, that's really cool that you got to be in the street party. What are your opinions on the cast for the film then?
I think the cast are incredible. If I sound really braggy, and I don't mean it like that at all, but I've been quite fortunate to get to know a lot of them for all sorts of different reasons, coming to fan events, you know, just purely messaging, seeing them in person, whatever it may be.
Yeah, because they have actually brought a young Jamie New into the film as well, haven't they?
Yeah, he's really nice.
He's so sweet. He's so lovely. He sends us a message every now and then. It's really cute.
So, because that's been brought in, how do you think storyline will play out through it?
I think it's something to do with a football match. According to IMDb, there's football fans, and there's a football match that happens. I think it's with Jamie as a child, but you have to have other dimensions to it when it's a film, such as I assume they'll probably put a bit more focus on young Loco Chanel and have some scenes of the lead up to that, as opposed to just a little moment that's on stage. Because even though it's probably going to be shorter than the show, because the show is nearly 3 hours, it's still you go more into depth with a film, and so I assume they'll be doing that.
I think the whole bit about the football, there's been a couple of photos floating about of Max on a football stadium pitch, but I think it goes off of the line in the show where Margaret's talking to the dad, and he says, if I want to support Wednesday on my day. Yeah, so I think it's kind of going off of that about how his dad dragged Jen along.
Yeah.
So within Jamie, there's a lot of stunt casting that goes on with Miss Hedge, Jamie sometimes because of Leighton. So what's your opinion on the stunt casting within Jamie?
I think Leighton just happens to be famous. That's not why they went for him. They were considering him before they even considered John. But we've had so many different stories of this. But I think what it was that Leighton was considered at first, but just wasn't available at the time. So they went for John as the second choice. But yeah, no. Obviously, you could call it stunt casting with Miss Hedge with Michelle Visage, or Rita Simons from EastEnders, or not Hayley Tallman does musical theatre generally. I think, and this isn't to do a disservice to the role of Miss Hedge, because it's a fairly smaller role and it's a light-hearted role, as is Hugo. It allows for that, because I don't know. I feel like I'm slagging off the role, saying that anyone could do it ananyway, which is not what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
But it's I think everyone that's done it well, and the one I was concerned about was Roy. When they announced him, I was like, this is going to be awful. What on earth? It's meant to be an aging man that's putting on a bit of weight, but it's he was so good, and they do put their own spin on it. And I think the fact that Roy is famous and has had so much experience means that he was fearless going into it and just made some bold choices that maybe someone else wouldn't have done. So it was great.
I think I know your question was about Jamie, but just quickly, in general, occasionally I do have a problem with stunt casting, purely because I believe that there are people who train for years, spend thousands of pounds, get the best training within musical theatre, within the performing arts, and then their role is taken by someone who appeared on TV a couple of times. In that aspect, I think I guess I do have a problem, but within Jamie, all of that aside, I think we've been incredibly fortunate with the casting that we've had. All of the stunt cast that we have had, all of them have experience with performing. It's not like they made an appearance on Gogglebox. It's not just a small thing. They're all comedians, actors, singers, whatever it may be. Which makes a massive difference, because getting on stage 8 times a week, you have to know how to be able to control the audience within a script, essentially. Favourite. And Roy was just incredible, and I was blown away. I remember I watched his first night, and I was like, yeah, I'm here for it. I'm so happy. And I have to say, Phil Nicol holds a very, very special place in my heart. He was the first ever Loco Chanel, but I think Shane Ritchie did an incredible job as Hugo as well.
Yeah, I saw Shane Ritchie when I went to Sheffield for the press night for the UK tour, and believe it or not, it was me that actually sent you the press night video.
Right.
But yeah, honestly, Shane Ritchie in that role, I couldn't fault him in it. Yeah, he's honestly absolutely beautiful.
Weren't you invited to that press night?
No, was not.
I wish. I mean, I was looking at going. I've got a friend that lives in Sheffield, so I was looking at going at the time anyway. But no, we weren't invited. I don't think we're big enough for that.
Well, I think Zoe was invited, weren't you?
Yeah, I was asked to go. Someone saw one of my reviews on YouTube, and they got in touch with me and said, "Would you want to come and do a review for the show for the press night?" So obviously I went, and that vlog is now on my channel. So it was just one of the most memorable nights of my life.
Oh wow, that's great.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, I think we just didn't, we didn't reach out to anyone, or I don't think we were too bothered. Obviously, we would have loved to be there, but for both of us, Sheffield's quite a long way. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it took me about 45 minutes on the train
That's
from
not
where I
bad,
am.
That's good.
It takes 5 hours.
Oh God. Yeah, so just talking about theatre in general now, like, what does being like a theatre fan mean to you? Like, what's it mean to you?
God, theatre has always been such a huge part of both of our lives. I think it definitely helped both of us come out of our shell a lot. Obviously, because of the pure enjoyment of live theatre and enjoying, that aspect, singing, the dancing, the acting. But I think we've both been incredibly lucky with the community that we've been able to approach, and the people that we've met. Yeah, both of us have made quite literally our best friends, and hopefully friends for life through theatre. And for instance, you look at Matthew and I, we met through theatre, and if you look at everything that we've been fortunate enough to achieve. So, the performance aspect aside, we've met so many people, had so many amazing opportunities, not even within Jamie, just in general. And the relationships we make with cast members as well means so much to both of us.
Yeah, Grace has said it all.
Sorry.
Fine, no.
So, what would you say that your top 5 shows are?
Right, okay, I'm just gonna go. Okay, I can't pick an order for them. I'm just gonna say 5 that are my favourite 5. Bend It Like Beckham, Jamie, Kinky Boots, oh god. See, I would have said like Dear Evan Hansen, but I've gone off it. I feel like it will be Back to the Future, but I can't say that until I've seen it.
That is going to be
properly.
good. Well, it looks good.
Manchester.
Did you see? I don't know. Did you?
No, but I just obviously because I know it was there. But yeah, that's I actually can't choose 2 more. I don't know. Oh, Billy Elliot. Yeah, I love Billy Elliot. Obviously, yeah, that's in there.
Rude. My first 2 are in order, Billy Elliot and Jamie. The other 3, no particular order at all, because I just couldn't choose. I love every musical I've ever seen, apart from one, but I won't go to that. For me, it would probably be Little Shop of Horrors, Waitress, for the message, Waitress for the... So Take It From an Old Man makes me cry every single time, even when I listen to it. So for that, Little Shop, Waitress, and it's going to be that it's so difficult, but I can't choose between Rent or Hairspray or even Grease for that matter. Just all of them. I just love these songs.
I'm just going to add Company and Waitress. I can't believe I forgot it before.
And Falsettos. Oh, love Falsettos.
Good shame. So we have some quick fire questions for you. Zoe, do you want to do the stopwatch?
Yeah, I can do.
Are you ready?
Are we taking it in turns?
Yeah.
Yeah, take it in turns.
We're both answering every question, or is it alternating?
We'll do like...
You're both doing all 5 questions, but separately.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right, okay, so who should we do first?
I'll go first. Yeah.
Alright, okay. Wait.
Right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Plays or musicals?
Musicals.
West End or Broadway?
West End.
Favourite show?
Everybody's
Very obvious. Dream role?
Jamie.
Favourite performer?
John McCree.
Yeah, that's it.
23 seconds.
Oh
It was-
wow, we really talking. Wow, okay.
It might have been. It might.
Have I got the same question?
Yeah.
Oh.
You've had time to think about them, so you're lucky. Right.
I'm ready.
Right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Plays or musicals?
Musicals.
West End or Broadway?
West End.
Favourite show?
Billy Elliot.
Oh, okay. Dream role?
Edna Turnblad.
Favourite performer?
Nicole Dennis.
Done it.
19 seconds.
Well, that was a lot quicker.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Sorry.
Right, so just to finish it off, I've just got one more question to ask you both. And that is, what show would you like to see be revived or be a UK tour?
I think Company needs to come back. It's
Yeah, it's a good show.
it had such a short run, and it was. I mean, obviously, Company's been on throughout the years, but this was a gender swapped version, which I think worked really well. And I know it's on Broadway, but I'm not being horrible to whoever's playing it there. I don't know her name. I think it's Katrina something. But you just need Rosalie Craig to play it again. She just needs to play it in the West End again. So that would be great if that came back.
Yeah.
I never saw it, and I'd love to see it again. Well, not again. I'd love to see it. I don't know if it counts because it is currently on, but I'd love Mean Girls to come over here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it has been confirmed it's going to come.
Tons the West End. She'll just put on all the shows that she's not had a chance to see yet.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm being so stupid. Billy Elliot.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, please. I want to see that back.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, Billy Elliot is my favourite show, but I've never seen it.
Have you watched the movie?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'll let you off.
Now, a few of your
I must have watched that Pro Shot 525,600 times, and that is not a Rent reference.
Wow.
So one of the shows you said I didn't get because everything froze. So can you just say that show again? I think it was the first one you said.
Who?
Grace.
I said I'd love to see Company. I'd love Company and Hadestown to come back, because I never got a chance to see them. And then Mean Girls, and then obviously Billy Elliot.
Yeah. Yeah. Good choices. I want all of them to come back. I want to see Billy Elliot back. I want to see Beetlejuice come to the West End.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't know what theatre that would be best in.
Probably the Savoy because of the size of it.
Yeah. Obviously because of Winter Garden's quite a big theatre.
Yeah, people were saying that they would love to see it in the Gillian Lynn because of the size of it, because it looks like the Winter Garden. But personally, I just don't see it on that stage.
I really don't like that theatre. That stage is so wide, and like the audience is just too big for the. It's just I don't know. Also, I don't know if it was just School of Rock or if it's every show that's there, but the acoustics are weird. It's like a concert with like echoey sort of. I just felt that was a bit un-theatre-like, especially Weber theatre.
Like it'll be good to see how they managed to do Cinderella in there.
Yeah.
Do you two plan to go and see Cinderella?
No. No, I genuinely don't, not at all.
I like Carrie Hope Fletcher. It's not on the top of my list. you know, if a friend's like, oh, I'd like to go see it, then I'll probably make a trip. But I have other things I'd like to spend my money on.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Harriet Fletcher stan, so I will definitely try and see it.
Yeah, that's the exact same with me.
Is that all the questions we have then?
I think that's pretty much all we've got.
Well,
Brilliant.
thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks,
It's
guys.
alright. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure to talk to you. And thank you
Great.
for everyone that
Thanks,
listened to this
guys.
episode.